Day 3 of our trip to India, we're going out to SST, an actual arm of TVS Motors. Now what they do is they take care of impoverished people, but on the way out we saw a lot of interesting things in the traffic. Even the dog had to negotiate the traffic, but Norman and I got there early in the morning and we got our briefing from the people that are doing this fantastic work, working with villages throughout rural India, teaching them how to raise their standard of living up. These people are amazing what they're doing, and you're going to see things today that you will not believe. We're going to go to villages that they've had great success stories with, and we're also going to see some villages that they're having problems with, so we can fully understand the issues and maybe apply lean and maybe double their output. So Ashok took us over to the chapati factory where the women are making all these fabulous tortillas, if you will, and they're just fantastic. It was crazy. There are 5 different actual factories. A group of women owns each one of them. They work like crazy and they make money on each one of these, about 15 cents, not really 15 cents, but equivalent to kind of like 15 cents a piece. And the nice thing about it is they get to keep that, and then they take 1 cent of all that and contribute it to the community to support the community. It's a fabulous effort. They're hardworking. Remember, they had no jobs, and now they have jobs. Now they're supporting their families. Their children are going to school. Their children are being lifted up, all because of the vision of TVS Motors. It is powerful, and the work that this team is doing at SST is just, it's breathtaking to see what's going on there. There are fabulous play centers and schools and community centers that are all springing up as a result of this amazing effort. It takes sometimes 2 years to bring a community up to this level from completely impoverished. They even have checklists that allow them to monitor the systems in the baking area to make sure everything's done to a certain cleanliness and standard. It's really remarkable. They've basically taken parts of the Toyota production system and applied them here with great results. Now, remember the scope of this. There are 3,500 villages that this is happening in, over 2 million people being lifted out of poverty. I've never seen anything like this. This is crazy, the effort. And you know what? They don't need money. Can you imagine that? They're so self-sustaining. When they walk away from this, and these villages can actually sustain themselves. These women have created great dignity for themselves and their families, and things are working out. Is it all easy? It's never all easy. There's lots of hard work along the way, but we're seeing a remarkable effort of the way it should be done. The kids, wow, happy, over the top. We visited one of the play centers and they were just fantastic, and we went in and met all the teachers and the people that are supporting all their efforts. This is really something that everyone should realize, this great work that's being done on a fraction of the budget what normally this kind of work would be done with. So what is that number? Lifting 2 million people out of poverty? $1.5 million a year. How about that for efficiency? That is staggering. Now they're working in 1,600 play schools, 1,200 schools around the country. It is, again, breathtaking what they're pulling off with a fraction of the cost. Imagine the kids having tablets, learning to read English. This little boy is reading English on a tablet. They're really covering the full spectrum on what needs to be done in a community, from building schools to creating jobs to lifting women who have no educational background at all and creating and making them into entrepreneurs. Imagine that. Wow. A quick stop at another village where they show us a water purification and well system. You come by, put 2 rupees in, you get your water, it fills up. Everyone's got fresh water in the village now. And from there we did a little walk around the village just to see everything that was going on. One thing to note, the villages are very clean. SST makes a big deal about keeping the area clean. Now, different people have different things they do. Animal husbandry, this lady was raising cattle, and then we went to another school and play area. We talked to the women and how the difference has been made with SST's involvement. There, we went across the street to see how SST is encouraging them to raise sparrows so they're part of the conservation of the environment. It's really amazing what they're doing. They raise them, they release them into the environment, and then this lady actually had cattle here and the small calf, and she makes quite a bit of money raising her calf and having her animals, and raises millet as well. Now this family has everything, a car, a motorcycle, washer, dryer, and even a TV, if you can believe that. And then a closing picture with the village and Norman. Wow, what a day we had, and the sun came out.
What you see in the chapati unit today has a very interesting story behind it. Many years ago, when we started working in the chapati unit, the women were happy because they were earning an extra piece of income. But the menfolk, the husbands, were quite unhappy. They did not like the women to go out, get empowered, and to be independent in a way. So there were instances of domestic violence. They did not allow the women to come out and do this work, but the women were determined. In spite of all the efforts to stop them from doing it, there was an occasion when the women were told by the village council that the chapati unit was functioning in a community hall, and community halls are not meant for cooking. The women were not deterred. They were quite comfortable and they were quite confident about themselves. So they went to the bankers and borrowed 450,000 rupees. Then they went to the district authorities. They did not have a piece of land. So they got a small piece of land allotted to them free of charge. With the amounts that they borrowed from the bank and some of their own savings, they built 6 kitchens. Today they function in these 6 kitchens. They are proud owners of this land, which has increased in its value. And most important, the menfolk have reconciled themselves to it. In fact, they are happy that the wives or the sisters or the women of the village are earning a reasonably large amount of money, sometimes more, much more than what their husbands do.
So here I am in the corporate office of TVS Motors. It's absolutely awesome. Behind me is Venu's grandfather and father, and Venu's, this is his vision, to actually work with these people and lift millions, hundreds of millions of people out of poverty. And these gentlemen are doing the most amazing work from a man who has outrageous vision. I can't believe it, and they're going to show us more. So my hat's off to Venu Srinivasan. Operational excellence in his company as well as in society. Chairman of the board.